for our last wine, we're going to come back to Bordeaux. A little bit of a change. We're going to finish with a Sauterne. This is Chateau de Cosse, which is the second wine of Chateau Rieussec. And I know Chateau Rieussec has a special place in Monsieur Chevallier's heart, because before he took over as manager of all the DBR properties, you looked after this for 9 years, I believe. Exactly. As the managing director of Rieussec. Sauterne is very much a Bordeaux speciality. Mm-hmm. What makes Sauterne? What is so special that makes the Sauterne?
In all the wines we taste before in the red, but also in the dry white wine we have in the company, in the group, there is one thing: we are looking after the disease coming in the vineyard, and especially with the botrytis, where for all those wines we don't need and we don't want any botrytis. And for the Sauterne, we need the same. It's exactly the same fungus coming, okay? Botrytis cinerea, but in different occasion and terroir and so on, or you have a bad evolution or a very good evolution. And in Sauterne, it's a specific place where you have not every year a very good evolution of the botrytis, where we can create this kind of wine. I said not every year. Unfortunately, 2012, we didn't produce any Chateau Rieussec. The evolution of the botrytis was not interesting, and it was a disaster. Okay? But coming back to Chateau de Cosse, it's a blend of the different classic varietal of Sauterne, with Sémillon, the most important part, of course, Sauvignon Blanc, a little part, and Muscadel. The three varietals allowed to produce in Sauterne. And depending on the vintage, we make a blend with the three or not, depending on the quality of each one. The harvest is made, of course, by hand, and is not the same selection from each plot of the vineyard. It's more day by day, depending on the evolution of the botrytis. We can pick in good or not so good condition and make a specific separate fermenting process in cask. And at the end, we taste all the different casks and we select the part to go into the Grand Vin, the second wine, and so on. But that's all technique. In fact, the most important is to enjoy the wine, and to find the real capacity to express and to explain what is a sweet wine, what pleasure you can have at any time of the day or the night. You can open a bottle of sweet wine of Sauterne, you drink with your friends some glasses, and if the bottle is not finished, you can put back the cork, put it back in the fridge, and enjoy it day by day for a few days.
It's a wine that keeps for a long time, even when it's open.
The possibility to be stored with an open bottle without any problem.
And I think that's quite important for the restaurant trade to know as well, because it's a wine that you can open and you can keep and you can serve it the next day or the day afterwards if you keep it cool.
For this special tasting, we open a half bottle of Chateau de Cosse to present also that we have some, but we have also single bottles or magnums or double magnums.
Very, very
depending on how many friends you have around the table.
We think very often in the Anglo-Saxon world about Sauternes being a dessert wine, and we think about Sauternes being served with foie gras, for example. Okay, I know what you're going to say. Give us some other ideas.
I think that the word dessert wine, it's really a disaster.
No, it's a disservice to the wine. I agree.
Because you can serve and enjoy the sweet wine and the Sauterne at any time. Of course, there is the classic service with the foie gras, which is very good all the time. It's a very French and classic evolution. But you have a lot of any possibilities with cheese, with roast chicken, with lobsters, with I want to say with Asiatic food, spicy flavors, and the confrontation between salt and sugar. there is a lot of possibility to make a surprise for all your friends. When you like the Sauterne, and you have to make understand to your friends that there is a lot of possibilities to drink.
Yeah, it's a much more versatile wine than we very often give it credit for.
And with the sweetness of this wine, it's easy to start. Some people say that it's difficult to start an aperitif with Sauterne because after that the red wine. No, it's quite. Depending of what you eat with, after that you can have a lot of different combination, which is very easy to accept.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I'm sure if you come back to these red wines after the sweet wines, you'll find that these red wines stand up very nicely after a Sauterne. There's no problem at all. I think what's very interesting about this, and a lot of people are put off sweet wines because they have certain preconceptions, but there's a lot of freshness in this wine. It has that acidity and freshness to it, which makes it so versatile.
That's one of the difficulties of those kind of wine is to find the right balance during the fermenting process between the alcohol level, residual sugar, and acidity. If you have a good sweetness, there is 138 grams per liter residual sugar, which can be considered as very high. If you don't have the freshness and the acidity in front of that, you have something unbalanced, too sweet, too fat, and not drinkable. So that's the combination between the three varietal and a more Sauvignon. It's very interesting to have in the definitive blend.
It gives it that freshness. Huh?
That gives some more fruit and freshness. But you can have more or less the same result with only Semillon. It depends at what time exactly you pick. With the total noble rot or a part of noble rot and a part of good grapes and it's a Sauterne for me. It's a very interesting estate where you can learn a lot of things. Even using in the red wine after that.
It's a very challenging, very technical wine.
Yes.
Very technical wine. Thank you very much.